laughing.
We'll give that up.
Okay,
Exactly.
I had a
I'm
boss.
gonna go
that ended
over
up
we
with
have 7
lifeguards
resolutions and 2
as a
consents.
teenager.
So resolution 150.
Oh my God.
2526-150, resolution adopting the minutes from the last common council meeting. Questions? No? Resolution 2526-151, resolution appointing Commissioner of Deeds, Lisa Luber and Robin Waldron.
These are just re-ups. They're just reappointments.
Renew.
They're pretty standard.
Okay.
They both were commissioner of these prior.
Okay, resolution.
Any questions?
Oop.
Go ahead.
2526-152, resolution appointing Commissioner of Deeds, Chris Carpenter, and
Same deal.
that's a renewal, and Jimmy will sponsor that.
Mhm.
Okay. Resolution 2526-153, resolution amending budget for opioid settlement. City received $3,000 from Montgomery County General Fund as part of the city's award of the 2026 opiate oasis settlement funds. Chief, would you like to add anything?
No, just, we had a prior resolution, for a laptop like this before, and we're just getting a second one for a second detective. With that skill set, we want to make sure we have more than one person trained.
Excellent.
Any questions? Resolution 2526-154, resolution appointing Commissioner of Deeds for Ronald Rickey.
This is also a renewal. Before.
Resolution 2526-155, resolution to transfer funds for equipment purchase at the wastewater treatment plant.
Yeah, it looks like we're buying some new equipment. Wanna,
Yeah, so, thank you. Okay, the background of this is we have a Bobcat skid steer type loader now. We had to switch to a different type of polymer, which dewaters sludge further so we can achieve the right percent solids, before it goes to the landfill. I'm saying this as absolutely as polite as I can. Polymer that we had to switch to achieve our percent solids comes in totes that are about 1 ton or just a ton and a quarter, I forget. The current Bobcat we have won't lift them, can't move them. So the one that we have now still has a lot of resale value. So this resolution would authorize a transfer from another line, and I don't remember that, within the wastewater plant budget to supplement the trade-in so that we can replace the Bobcat loader with a larger one that will lift them.
Okay.
No.
Resolution
Thank you, Mr.
2526-156, resolution approving the audit. The audit is fine. Resolution 2526-157 is a consent. Resolution renewing lease agreement for Port Jackson Bocce Club. And this is Alderman Marticello, and he can discuss this when he gets back.
Yes, they had a 10-year lease that they wanted to renew. And working with Attorney Casale and Mr. Marticello with inputs from Mr. Emanuel and Mr. Legiro, came up with a document that's a 5-year renew. And the first lease was written in a very, the first 2 leases were written in a very rudimentary way that did not clearly define the property as a city park, which is what it is, and therefore did not tie that into all of the things that apply to our city parks, which would be public use, et cetera, things like that. So again, they worked together. I believe, Tony, you talked to Jimmy about it, and he was pleased with this, what we'll be voting on tonight. I was expecting him to be here to talk about it. He probably will when he gets here.
He will. He had to run to the pharmacy.
Yeah, I like this lease having obligations of the city and obligations of the club.
Yeah.
I know this is something that the Recreation Commission, I hope, is that we're working towards, like, more clearly defining for all of our clubs that use our parks. This is great.
And we have resolution 2526-158, another consent resolution awarding contract WTP chemical bids.
This is for the water treatment plant. This is for chemicals for April 2026 to March of 2027. Their water treatment plant required chemicals. This is the bids that came in. Did I explain that right?
Yeah, it's just, it's a routine, commodities bid.
Hello. Can I get my pills?
Okay.
I had to pick my
Did you take them?
I had to pick them up at halftime today.
Glass of water, so. Jim, do you want to talk about the lease? The lease?
The voucher club?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Is everybody happy, right?
sure. The only thing we added, the reason why we tabled it last week, because we want to put a clause in, Tony, number 7, where we don't discriminate against anyone. If anybody wants to go down there, they can say, because of, you can't do it. So this way it's open. That's why we put that in there.
So everybody's happy?
Are we okay?
Yes?
Okay, thank
If
you.
somebody wanted to use it though, would they contact the city clerk
Yeah,
or
okay, well, they want
the
to go down
recreation
there.
department?
The person that contacts is Mr. Gerald.
Mm.
He's the president of the club. He has a calendar,
Mhm.
what's open, what's being used, when, and it's free. Unless you want to charge, it's up to you. They've had stag parties there.
Yeah.
They've had,
Clam bakes,
what's that?
clam bakes for the fire
Yes.
department, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. They've had clam bakes there. They even had a shower down there. Okay? So it's for use. But you check with Richard Gerald, he's the president, and he'll tell you, you say we have a date. If it's being used, he'll tell you when there'll be alternate dates. And it's open to the public. Okay?
Yeah.
Have any other questions? All right, thank you very much. Sorry, I was late.
No worries.
They said pick it up 5:30, so.
Yeah, that's
Adrian?
Kelly, do you want to speak about this?
Sure, I put together, we're going to the safe stream.
Safe
Yeah, I have some things to add to this too, so
Yeah.
I apologize for
No
not
worries.
being part of it, so
You can add that to your calendar.
I will.
Yes.
It's at least 3 hours.
No, I have it.
So I put a copy on there, I'm sorry, chiefs, I didn't make enough copies, of the list
I have it.
that, the original list that I got, regarding some of the streets of concerns in different wards. So I listed the street, who referred it, and then the concerns, and then there's a blank, possible solutions, which we can work on later, but, I think we still can pull together some more and then, meet to talk about some options or solutions after that. I'm not sure.
In your, I only gave you this one because in your email, you said you wanted a starting point.
Yeah,
So I just took the ones that are the biggest headache, priority, or opportunity. If you want to look at it
right.
and gave you those.
And I think what it does start to show like common concerns like winter parking, speeding. So we can talk about those like as a whole, as a, like, what the issues of speeding are, what the winter parking type issues, and then go back and play. So maybe street by street, maybe we go topic by topic. As we have that, but wait for some more feedback, and then I was thinking about like when we would have these gatherings. We could do them after our council meetings, if that's easier for people that are already here. I don't know that we have time really in the cow to do that. Or it could be another Tuesday night, but I don't know. I don't wanna like have people have to come after work, especially like our coworkers or, staff on that work at City Hall.
I'm open to anything.
Is this something you would consider doing like Zoom or phone kind of meeting?
It could be a Zoom one too, yeah.
Okay. I would personally, this is speaking for myself, would rather do it on another day rather than staying
Mm.
after a meeting, but it's just my 2 cents.
What would be easiest for like the department heads if you were to have people from your staff or things like that? Would be like during the day over Zoom or
Zoom would work.
on your team? Any
You
like
guys
during the
pay me,
day
I'll
or
show
after?
Honestly, it's be like,
I'm not rooting for the opposite to this.
Okay, that's good to know.
Well, I know Chief knows all about mine. Those are the same ones every year, for
Mhm.
the past couple of years. They haven't changed.
Mhm.
I mean, I got speed signs on Guy Park, so we got that put up. We've had the speed sign on Grant Place by the school. We've done that. And that kind of helped slow people down coming up and down that area. So those type of things do work with speeding. People do see them and think they're getting photo tickets or something. They just
So
stop it.
there's a major improvement,
Oh,
like on
yeah.
Church Street, after Mike had that sign put in down by,
Crane.
the funeral home. And Chief's, we've had a lot of cars being pulled over lately and everything. It's just the consistency of it.
Right.
It's needed. But like even on mine, the winter parking and everything, in a month, we're not gonna have that issue.
Right.
But tonight,
We will.
we're gonna have that issue either on Broman or Matthias, and God forbid there's a fire or something and Chief needs to get down that street, they're not gonna be able to.
Well, that's a hard one because everyone doesn't have a driveway anymore, or they don't have one. The houses just don't have them, and then there's nowhere to park.
I think on the flip side of it, the biggest thing is everybody's like, when they're complaining about it, it's not enforced. It's not enforced. They get a ticket, but after that, it's not enforced. So they're just not taking it seriously.
They're gambling.
You gotta remember times change also. Families didn't even have a car or just had one car.
Mm.
Now families have 3 cars.
I can entertain that excuse when it's a snow emergency and there's no parking on the street, but for
Right.
alternate parking, there's still ample.
Yeah, that's fine. Alternate parking.
So what I was thinking about this, thinking about, we talked about a toolkit, and I
Mhm.
thought that we should define what's in our toolkit, in terms of what measures we have, and we've mentioned several tonight. I'm kind of researching it because I think this is a great idea. And one of the things that I talked to Mike about were speed humps instead of speed bumps, but making a crosswalk, elevated crosswalks in the city in certain, trying them because they are a pain with plows. They are a pain, could be a pain with drainage. So we can't just say, okay, put a speed hump there. But we can look at the situation and say, would a speed hump work, try it in a couple spots, because that would solve 2 problems, help solve 2 problems, pedestrian crossing area and also slow down a car. And the research that I've looked at indicates that they're effective. The research indicates that our streets, the speed signs we have are effective in slowing people down. But that's kind of what I was thinking was, let's assemble what we can do and let's pick maybe a bunch of these, we pick a portion of these streets, maybe one for every ward per meeting or whatever, and just attack them with that kind of a, and Chief, I was thinking maybe if you could look at the records and show and tell us,
Yeah, I did prepare something quick. So this, for this winter, November alternate parking season, November 1st to today, we've got 30 tickets issued on Roman, 45 issued on Locust. And now Matthias and North, and both South and North, we are lacking there. There's only been a handful, so I've directed them to pay more of a focus on there. It's a bit of a side street, it's not a main thoroughfare, so
Right.
But those are our numbers so far, and then like Alderwoman Collins said, we have speed detail, went out for a week long on Henrietta, and we have another one that's coming up on Brant near Major, for the school, so.
Right, so if we had, we had a plan for each street that included these types of things, like here's what's happening on this street. The other thing we're doing is we're gonna be enforcing our tickets more with a, if person cannot no longer throw the ticket away, they've gotta pay it, or when they go to Fonda, they're not gonna be able to re-register their car.
Is that initiated now?
That's moving.
But it's gonna, yeah, we're working on it. It's gonna take time to get what, right, 3 tickets?
3 tickets in 18 months, but we've
Yeah.
been on it, and the first batch already went out.
Yeah,
We're working
exactly.
on the second and
Second
third.
batch went out too.
So all of these things that we are doing are, like I call this a toolkit. All of these things that we are doing are pushing us towards more traffic and pedestrian safety. And I think that, taking this approach would be a really good thing, because we can look at the track records, and we can apply these things in a cohesive manner, in a strategic manner, with the police chief's help.
Yeah, maybe like get inventory of like the speed signs. A lot of them we move around, right? There's the permanent ones on Church Street, and then what do we have, like 3 or 4 that are
No, we
mobile?
only have one.
We only have that one?
We only have one that can be moved. It runs off 2 very big batteries that have to be recharged. We
But
tend
we do
to,
have a couple, right, left over?
well, those ones, I do have 2 left over, but those would be permanent. like the
Okay.
one with-
Exactly.
That we
Yes.
bought.
So we have 2 left. Those are $9,000 investments.
Yep.
So they're not cheap,
Left to assign.
but they do, I feel, and I want the council to understand and agree that they do work, that they are effective, and that in applying them, we should apply them based upon, where we feel the most speeding is occurring. And then we can always buy more. I'm not saying we can't buy more, but we've got 2 that we can apply now, so. But the one that moves around is nice, and then you do speed checks, you do speed details, you go and, monitor a street for a week, and that I shouldn't say scares people, but it puts people on notice that we're not ignoring this street.
And people realize that too. Like I've had, people ask about that. Chief Spencer's put people there, and then like a week later they said, "Oh, I saw the police there.
Right.
They were right where right where I asked them to be." So
Exactly.
people do notice that and appreciate it.
So this council has made a lot of investment in traffic and pedestrian safety in the last few years, and it is paying dividends, and we will continue to pay more. But I think this is a great idea of now trying to just really focus on what we've learned and apply it. But I think if you try to do too much in one meeting,
Right.
you really need to decide to narrow it down to what you want to talk about, maybe one street per alderman, or maybe one ward, or whatever the case may be, but.
Yeah. So the next step would be to then, compile kind of the toolkit.
Yep.
As well. We can discuss that in the meeting, the next meeting, which I'll kind of put out a survey or something where we can figure out when we would do that. And that would be a public meeting. We could post that because all 5 of us would be able to be in it, but that would mean like the public could be on it too.
Right, and say you guys found things that you might consider, the methods that other communities are using, and bring it, and we can discuss those things as well.
Yeah, like I was hoping like Zach could be in it because he's had some different things, some ideas as well, from an engineering standpoint.
So speaking of traffic, tomorrow at 6 o'clock, I'm having a meeting with 2 representatives from CDTA and the business owners at 5 Corners to discuss the proposed changes for 5 Corners.
It's a big project.
How it goes. We had a couple of blips, they had sent some geologists to do some core samples. And unfortunately, they were in Mrs. Slezak's entrance to her station, and there was just some communication issue between CDTA and her, and she didn't know they were coming. So it's all handled now, but I expect good things to come out of this tomorrow.
Anything else? Mike, Mayor, can Mike do his, go over his agenda?
I did
Mike, you want to go over your report?
You want to do the engineering report?
I would love to. I'm the one who's deaf. How much, I'm right behind you. How much time do I have?
Hour and a half.
10 minutes.
No.
10 minutes.
Spread it out.
Second Tuesday?
Thank you. So I want to mention right now to everyone that if you don't know already, we have hired a new chief operator finally for the wastewater treatment plant.
Great.
His name is Paul LaFond. He's a licensed 4A operator. And he comes with really good experience, and I'm happy that we have him. I will at some point soon try to get him to a meeting so you folks can at least put a name with a face. We discussed the consent resolution tonight about the water treatment chemicals. Anyway, that's the routine commodities bid that we do. I didn't include in here about the trade-in and new Bobcat needed for wastewater. But we talked about that. The Broadway Hill Sanitary Sewer, we discussed that previously. You had passed a resolution to award conditional upon receipt of the money in escrow for construction, and I'm told that that'll be here next week. I don't see them starting before April 1st anyway. Water breaks, yeah, I've been getting calls from folks now. I expect we're gonna see them. We've got a repair scheduled for tomorrow night for a small leak, of course, on Market Street. It's not a.
Yeah, that was online.
Huh?
Have you gotten a call about 195 Guy Park Ave? Remember the pink house?
Yeah.
It now looks fantastic. It looks like there's water bubbling up there.
No, I haven't heard that yet, but I'll make sure that we look at that as well. Yeah, so we're gonna have there will be a traffic detour tomorrow night. For both directions on Market Hill, at least almost in front of Stewart's. It's not a major break, but because if it was on those lines, we wouldn't have a street left. Those are big lines. And, it's a little bit irksome because it's right in the middle of our beautiful paving from last year.
Oh,
So
that's too bad.
I'm gonna make sure that we have it redone properly. The demolition project funded through CDBG is going very well, making good progress towards construction. I have 12 listed here. Ironic, because I didn't realize they had moved. They completed one on Pine yesterday, I think it was. And now they're on, I think they moved over to Division. Irene told me that. I hadn't followed up with them this morning.
They're almost touching, the two backyards touch each other. 102 Division, 18 Pine.
Yeah, so that makes perfect sense. I didn't realize they had moved across. So, yes, we're making very good progress with that. I expect by the end of this month, we'll be pretty well complete with that work.
And like, you've got the two new ones.
Yes, and I have that underway.
They'll be added to this contractor's.
I've already done that. We got quotes for
21
one on
second,
Exit Street.
11 ends in the cleanup of debris pile, 21 second to demo and haul away house.
Yep, and so
I couldn't go in the other one.
the previous quotes we had to haul away Exit
21
Street
seconds
were
on it?
$75,000 or $80,000. There was a lot of it.
Yes.
It was a big
It was a
ticket.
big ticket.
But they quoted us 50.
The combined was 80, right, for the two, I believe?
No,
I
it was
combined
closer
with
to
mine.
90. I
Okay,
thought
90.
90
Only allowed for
change.
10,000.
Anyway, I've done a change order. I've added the work to the contract. We'll pay that additional work from our demolition line. And they've already done the notifications with Department of Labor, so that work is underway too, or will be. It's in the works. The 2026 street paving. I've received list of streets from some of the council members. And I know it's still the end of winter and it's hard to tell, but if you have an idea of some of them, if you can get those lists to me, your lists sooner than later, it'd be a big help. The reason I say this, and the reason why I'm pushing even more than normal, is our contractor for 2026 has stated that they will be ready to go at the beginning of May, and they can dedicate May and June to us right out of the gate, which would be a real breath of fresh air, because normally we wind up at the end of the season and we're always scrambling to complete things before the weather cools off again. I would love nothing better than to get the majority of our paving done early in the year. So, you know, as you're around your ward, yeah, I know some of them you get snowbanks, some of that, but if, you know, we're gonna be warming up here in the next few days, so just keep an eye open, and a piece of paper in the car or whatever. Let's see, the Crescent Ave Bridge, they're gonna resume construction on the foundation work the last week of this month is the tentative schedule. And the other two items are repeats. They've been on there for a long time. I'm happy to take any questions, as always.
And Mike, on Crescent Ave, it does look like it's gonna impact on the Mohawks baseball season at this point, so.
Well, yes, Mayor, the substantial completion date for that is right now is the second week of July, so it's gonna have some impact
Right,
on the Mohawks.
Just communication is the key there, so that they're aware of that, but again, communication regarding, you know, parking, et cetera, and how to get in and out of the park during that is going to be key. And so, I'm sure we'll work closely with them.
The good thing is that when this is done in July, it's gonna be a lot easier to get in and out of there. We're gonna have a beautiful two-lane bridge with a sidewalk.
Absolutely, worth the aggravation, but just.
Meet all the modern standards.
Absolutely, no, it's gonna
Can
be
those
great.
big light up signs be changed in any way to direct traffic, or is that the state? I don't know if it's up to the state, like if that's the flood or not.
That's what I'm saying, they have to put a.
No, we
Right.
can update the message boards, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, we are at 1:05, I believe, or 1:06. Why don't we stand for the pledge of allegiance? And before we do, I just,
1:26.
I'm sorry, I usually call the order at 6, and it was 1:06, not 1:06.
Oh.
Okay, I'm sorry.
25 or 64.
Chicago.
But before we begin, I was asked that at the end of the Pledge of Allegiance, that we remain standing in a moment of silence for former alderman of our city's 4th Ward and our one-time Montgomery County Supervisor, David Davis.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. On behalf of our city, I would like to recognize the contributions that Dave made to our city as a county supervisor and as a 4th Ward alderman, of course, and an active community volunteer. I want to thank him for his service, posthumously, of course, and may he rest in peace. And if any council member would like to reflect on David, you're welcome to do that now.
You know, I had said in a post earlier that, you know, you really had to know Dave to really understand the message that he was trying to convey. And, you know, and all of us knew him pretty well. And, you know, I always joked with him that when I asked him a question, I wouldn't get a straight answer. I'd get something like pick a number between 1 and 100. And because any number, it didn't matter. He was trying to teach me to look at the entire problem instead of focusing on one little detail of the problem. He was extremely knowledgeable. He was a good neighbor. You know, we got along well, and I was sad to watch what happened, you know, with his illness and ultimately succumbing to it. And you know, when I don't normally, I'm not a big guy that likes to get in front of a casket when you go to a service. And when I did tonight, I did for him, and I just thanked him for everything that he taught me, because he did teach me a lot, and he did care. And that's really all I have to say. He's going to be missed in our ward. He was a big part of it.
Anyone else? Could you call the roll, please?
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Here.
Alderman Holliday.
Here.
Alderwoman Collins. Here. Alderman Carpenter.
Here.
Alderman Marticello.
Here,
Could I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion to adopt the agenda
With
with 7 resolutions and 2 consents. Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
all right,
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Okay, do we have any communications, presentations on that?
No.
Okay, so that brings us to, bear with me 1 second, public participation portion of our meeting. If you'd like to address the council, please come to the podium, state your name and address, and you have 5 minutes to tell us what you want to tell us.
Thank you very much. Christian Rivera, Dave State, New York. I want to urge anti-US imperialists to collect signatures and run this year for the 5 wards which are up for election in Amsterdam. For the 4 major parties in New York, you have until April 2nd to collect signatures, and you'll need about 42 signatures at most. We need a completely new council. And let me tell you why. Every person here has failed to protect people, animals, and environment. I mean the council and mayor. I have for the past 2 months, through multiple contacts, been urging this council to pass a resolution.
wait, can you do me a favor?
Yes,
Can you talk without, you're getting confused between looking into your,
stopping US crimes,
and talking, and I'm getting confused.
pass a resolution stopping US crimes, the war criminal Trump regime, and US military commits against Venezuela, Cuba, and Iran. It's unconscionable that this council and mayor refuse to act on the criminal attacks and murder of thousands of people in Venezuela and Iran, in the starvation warfare committed against Cuba and Palestine. The excuses not to act are baseless and only demonstrate that they don't care about the US military murder and overthrow of country after country, not even when it's the opposite party, the Republican Party doing it. Do you care to pass the resolution? They don't recognize or care that federally and at the state level, we do not have a democracy. We have a plutocracy. We do not have mechanisms of justice for war criminal presidents. We have criminal impunity. That is why you must have local action. I spent years making the rock-solid case why this council and mayor should pass the quote, protecting animals and reducing fireworks noise pollution, unquote, resolution. To protect animals from the torture of caging and corralling in the city of Amsterdam. And the council refuses to bring up any of these things for a vote. The Democrat council does not care about animals' welfare. On the issue of the environment, the council, among many of its failures, refused to do anything about ineffective ordinances, such as dog barking, light pollution, or big glaring white fence problem, among many other ordinances. They refused to limit the 6 destructive city fireworks shows a year down to 1, and refused to push for enforcement of illegal fireworks. The council refuses to protect and promote the health of trees, refuses to implement 2 train quiet zones, refuses to provide the public with information on the new streetlights. The council mayor do not do environmental oversight on any of the projects that happen here in Amsterdam, New York. Yeah, look at what the council does do. It gives itself and the mayor a raise. A raise for what? when this council fails to care for people, fails to care about stopping US imperialism, fails to protect animals, fails to do any oversight, fails to protect and improve the environment, then what should we do? Replace them, and replace them all, and join an anti-imperialist coalition who cares about people, animals, and the environment. Contact and join a local anti-imperialist movement at anti-usimp@gmail.com. Again, that's anti-usimp@gmail.com. The council mayor unanimously passed a resolution supporting Ukraine independence, which is their way of saying that they support the war in Ukraine. The so-called Democratic Party is willing to fight Russia right down to the last Ukrainian. The local Democrat politicians only act if the DNC tells it what to do and cares not about the slaughter of people in Venezuela, Iraq, Cuba, Lebanon, and Palestine. It's not going to stop. This is what you don't understand. You understand that it's not going to stop until you put a stop to it. Does anyone on the council want to address why that is? Why the DNC, you only do what the DNC says and you don't care about other people? Anybody? Open floor. Your time.
Okay, my time is this.
Okay.
There is an ordinance for barking dogs. I suggest you go in the clerk's office.
No, I'm talking about why don't you defend the other people. I'm not talking
Number
about dogs.
two,
Talk about
there's
Ukraine.
also,
My
we
time. I already
have,
played my time. Talk about Ukraine and why you want to defend the people of Palestine, Iran, so on and so forth.
Christian, if
Don't
I
try to, yes,
I agree with a lot of what you're saying.
thank you, sir.
I am anti-war. I
Thank you,
don't
sir.
believe in imperialism. I think it's terrible.
Thank you, sir.
But I also want to say with all due respect to you, A, I think what you're doing is fantastic. B, what I want to say is I took this job and took the oath of this office particularly to help local issues because I feel like it's a grassroots effort that we all
All politics are
undertook.
local.
Of
All
course,
politics are
if I
local.
may finish, to be as local focused as possible. And as much as I don't agree with some of the, as you call, imperialistic efforts, I feel that my place as a second ward alderman is to take care of the people of the second ward. And I wanted to highlight a little bit of that for you because
Okay,
I'm sure a lot of us do agree with
Sure.
you. We do, but it's
Then why don't
not
they stand up, get some
necessarily
people to
where
stand
our focus is.
why don't they do that?
And I said this in an email as well, you can do that as well as an American
Why
citizen.
don't you do it? Why doesn't this council do it?
And as a point of
I could.
order, this is not the debate portion.
So you
of
don't want to
the
say
meeting.
anything, but you're well on board with what's happening?
Sir, you're
in the
given
US?
a chance to address the
This
board.
is
You've
your
addressed
time.
the
That's your
board.
answer. Your answer is you don't care, you're not gonna do anything. Thank you.
Whatever,
Thank you.
whatever you want to
Thank
take
you.
away, but thank you.
No, it's not what I
very
want to take away, that's the
Thank you
fact.
very much.
That's the fact.
All right. So we are now on to the engineering report, which we just did. We're on to old business, which we have none of. So we are on to new business, which will begin our roll calls on the resolution.
Resolution number 2526-150, resolution adopting minutes from last common council meeting by Alderwoman Collins.
Any questions? So moved. Call the roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-151, resolution appointing commissioners of deeds Lisa Luber and Robin Waldron by Alderman Carpenter.
So moved. Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins. Aye. Resolution number 2526-152, resolution appointing Commissioner of Deeds Christopher Carpenter by Alderman Marticello.
So, so moved. Have any questions? Call the roll, please.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Abstaining from this vote.
Resolution number 2526-153, resolution amending budget for opioid settlement by Alderwoman Collins. Whereas the city received $3,000 from the Montgomery County General Funds as part of the city's award of the 2026 Opiate Oasis Settlement Funds.
You could go down to the resolve.
Resolved, the controller is authorized to amend the 2025-26 fiscal year budget as follows. Increased revenue, prescription drug settlement, $3,000. Increase expense, police equipment, $3,000.
So moved. Any questions? Call the roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-154, resolution appointing Commissioner of Deeds Ronald Draco by Alderman Carpenter.
So moved. Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-155, resolution to transfer funds for equipment purchase at the wastewater treatment plant by Alderman Holliday.
You can just read the last two whereases and the result.
Whereas a new properly sized compact track loader from Milton Cat was determined to be the best overall piece of equipment for the wastewater treatment plant, and whereas Milton Cat is on the list of vendors under state contract and proposed a purchase price of $82,992.69 for a Cat 265 CTL with a trade-in of $35,000 for the current skid steer, bringing the total purchase price to $54,992.69. And now therefore be it resolved that the following transfer of sewer funds is authorized.
That's good right there. Thank you so much. Questions? Okay, call the roll, please.
Alderman Holliday.
Thank you. Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-156, resolution approving audit by Alderwoman Collins.
So moved. Any questions? Call the roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-157, consent. Resolution renewing lease agreement, Port Jackson Bocce Club by Alderman Marticello. Whereas the Port Jackson Bocce Club has leased the land located on Erie Terrace for the past 20 years. And whereas the Port Jackson Bocce Club is seeking to extend their current contract lease agreement with the City of Amsterdam for the next 5 years from July 1st, 2026 to July 1st, 2031 for the cost of $1 per year for the next 5 years. And whereas lease term of 5 years will automatically renew unless notice of termination issued by either party within 90 days of advance notification. Resolved, the mayor is authorized to sign the attached lease agreement with the Port Jackson Bocce Club for the property on Erie Terrace for a period of 5 years effective July 1st, 2026 at a cost of $1 per year.
So moved. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-158, consent. Resolution awarding contract water treatment plant chemical bids by Alderman Carpenter.
So moved. Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Could I get a motion? I'd like to go into executive session for a brief moment to just talk about potential litigation.
This would be under section, Public Officers Law, section 105, sub 1, sub D, discussions regarding disclosures, pending, or current litigation.
Make a motion to go into executive session. Call the roll.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Thank you. Mike, could you stick around?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.